Hello everyone, welcome to Chem 327, and this is just a short video to give you an introduction of what we're going to do in the next 3 weeks, something we call open labs, short for open-ended labs. In that this is our transition to doing the discovery labs in the next step. Here we will be giving you some information, a little bit of instruction, and it's up to you to really figure out how much you're going to explore. Now, when we had this in person, you actually do experiments right there. Of course, we cannot have you in person, but we are sending you all a little package, your Chem 327 kit. And so you're going to be able to do some work at home. These are all meant to be pretty safe. You will see when you get the kit. I hope by now you have a kit with you. The first step you should do is open it up and make sure all the components are there. And please do not lose the components because we'd like to have them back at the end of the course so that we can use them again. We don't want to waste resources here. So anyway, just to give you an idea of what we're going to do in the next 3 weeks or what you're expected to do, and you can take your own pace on how you do things, except for certain dates in here, and I'll tell you which dates are important. So first of all, the idea here is to expose you to the 3 different aspects of experimental work. The first part is using a reasonably complex instrument. The second part is building a rather simple instrument. And somewhere, as part of all of this, of course, you have to prepare the samples that you're going to study. Now, the first part is the thing that's going to suffer a little bit for us because you don't get a chance to go out there and actually try out the instruments yourself. However, we are giving you some videos, and you get to know enough that if you want to include this in your Discovery Labs project, you may. And we hope that by the time you do the in-person Discovery Labs, you can actually have access to these instruments. So anyway, that's the timeline. It's going to take 3 weeks for all of these. We expect the first part to be about a week, maybe less, and then the later part will be about 2 weeks, maybe more. So you just go at your own pace. If you can finish the first part fast, that's great, and then you can move on to the next part. Okay, so let's do it little by little. The first part in Open Labs 1 is using instruments for experiments. And here you're going to be looking at 2 different types of doing experiments. One is doing imaging. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you can see things, that's awesome. And we are going to show you 2 different types of instruments that can look down to the nanoscale. One is an atomic force microscope, and the other is electron microscope. The second part is about spectroscopy, using light to probe the energy levels. And I hope you remember your quantum mechanics and you remember energy levels and can relate to all the kind of experiments that can be done and what kind of information you can obtain by doing spectroscopy. Now, these pictures are here as samples of the work of your TAs, and you can ask them more because they're experts in this area. So what you have to do, well, there are 3 videos that we're posting, and you should view the videos. And as you're viewing the video, and I asked them to make these are actual videos of your TA's labs and the work that they do, and they would like to explain this type of instruments in the context of their research. And as you're viewing the videos, you can start thinking to yourself, what can I use them for? That's pretty cool. What kind of experiment can I think about? Because again, what we're trying to do here is provoke you into thinking of potential projects. Now, you watch those videos well, you try to analyze them well, and there is a quiz that you have to complete before September 29. I ask that you do the quiz by yourself. You can use Google, books, notes, you can look at the video again, but please do not get help from anyone. I expect you to have a high level of integrity in this course because what we really want is for you to learn. Okay, so do complete the quiz. It should take no more than 20 minutes. Finish it before September 29. If you can do it earlier, fine, at least the moment I get to post it. Okay, Now, Open Labs 2 is a little bit more complicated because now we're transitioning to you building simple instruments. And we're going to have 3 different parts to this lab. First one is about contact angle and surface chemistry. The second part is to expose you to a little bit about electrical circuits and doing basic electronics and being able to do data acquisition electronically. So, up to this point, you've been writing down everything. If you remember your first year chemistry experiment on kinetics, when you're quickly trying to write down in cache, well, you know what? We are a bit more advanced now. We can actually allow you to take data electronically. So we'll teach you a little bit of electronics in order to build a data acquisition system. And then we'd like you to build a little project to answer a little question that occurs in your surrounding at home. We'd like you to use a little bit of a sensor to answer a simple question, to acquire data, put it in a computer, graph it. We'd like to test out that you have made that little project. And what we expect you really to do, okay, as I said earlier, first of all, receive the Chem 327 kit. Inspect it, do not lose parts. And then you build a contact angle device. There's an instruction, a brief introduction instruction in our course site in Quercus under Files. And I'd like you to record your data because, we will ask you questions about the data. And part of the contact angle device is you can prepare a couple of different kinds of surfaces and see what kind of contact angles you get. Now, again, this is why it's an open-ended lab. If you want to explore around you, go ahead, do that. Okay, then you watch the videos. That's the title would be Open Labs 2. There's 2 or 3 short ones that has to do with electronics and electrical circuits. It allows you to get familiar with electrical components, to test them out. And then you build a little data acquisition system and you carry out that project. And in one of the videos, there'll be some suggestions of potential questions you can ask, but you can come up with anything. You can basically say, what happens to the light inside my fridge when I close it? By putting around a sensor, acquiring data. The videos can serve as a guide to this part, but I know this is probably for some of you the scariest part because I noticed from your survey that you don't have much experience with doing this kind of work. And so please come to the office hours or schedule time for consultation with the TAs and myself. And at the same time as you're doing this, you're also thinking all the time and discussing with your team your potential project. And by the way, I will give you the team assignments soon. Okay, so the 2 deadlines here is you have to write an online quiz for Open Labs 2 by October 6, and there's going to be a short report that you will have to submit by October 13. That actually is just for us to understand what kind of simple project did you do, and that you were in fact able to acquire data and you were able to plot it. The instructions are also in our course website under the modules for the week. Okay, so that's it. This is Open Labs, and I hope that you'll have fun. It's our transition from doing very set experiments that you've had in your other courses to starting to think about how we're going to do discovery labs, which is the next phase of the course. I'll see you in class.